Hey y'all, it's Kim. So once you start looking into one set of documents, you go off on these tangents. And anyway, yesterday I did the video just on the FBI profile for Osama bin Laden, but he's been around for like a long, long time. I think in the 70s, maybe he was around. I think that's what they said. He was born in 57, so probably 79, maybe with the Mujahideen. So people that were fighting against the Soviets and the Soviets lost and Afghanistan. But anyway, eventually he becomes like the Al Qaeda head guy, and then they plan like just different bombings in different places. But here we are. Yesterday we did basically Osama bin Laden with the 9/11 stuff, but he's been involved in other plans, according to at least the FBI's website. I mean, this is FBI.gov, and I'll put this link in the description. So if you want to go back and look at it, read it, look at the other links that go along with it, cool. I mean, I just like looking into all this stuff. Let me put this on silent. I'm sorry. So, anyway, basically, Al Qaeda did a lot of bad things. There's also the USS Cole, and then the Millennial Plot. I think that had something to do with LAX or something like that. Probably right around the turn of the century, 2000. But anyway, so here we are with the East African embassy bombings. I think this occurred. It says an FBI agent rakes through debris looking for clues following the car bombing of the U.S. embassy in Kenya. I think it's Nairobi. And then the bomb site of the attack of the U.S. Embassy in Nairobi, Africa, by Al Qaeda operatives on August 7th, 1998. I don't know if some of this goes way back, but I mean, you got to learn a lot from history. I mean, I'm fascinated even with stuff like, say, well, the guy in Germany, because I'm sure they'll try to flag my stuff, and even Stalin, Lenin, the other dictators from the past. I mean, you have to learn from history just so it's not repeated. But I know a lot of people want to erase history and just like not go through it. So this is just me. I like going through documents. I like reading. I like learning new things. But let's go on. So on August 7th, 1998, nearly simultaneous bombs blew up in front of the American embassies in Nairobi, Kenya, and Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, in Africa. 224 people died in the blast, including 12 Americans, and more than 4,500 people were wounded. In the aftermath of the attacks, over 900 FBI agents alone and many more FBI employees traveled overseas to assist in the recovery of evidence and the identification of victims at the bomb sites and to track down the perpetrators. These attacks were soon directly linked to Al Qaeda. Extraordinary efforts from our federal and international partners led to the identification, arrest, and extradition to the United States of several members of the Al Qaeda terrorist network for their role in the bombings. Mohammed Sadiq Ode, maybe, and Mohammed Rashid Da Awad. I don't know how you say that. Da Al Aud. I don't know. I'm just piecing it together based on how you do phonics. Al Al Holly, I don't know, were arrested in Kenya within 20 days of the bombings and rendered to the U.S. shortly thereafter. Both were convicted for their roles in the bombing and sentenced to life in prison in October of 2001. In September 1998, Mahmoud Salim, I guess that's what he said, was arrested in Germany. He's currently serving a life sentence for stabbing federal corrections officer in the eye while in prison after being charged in the embassy attacks. Also in September 1998, Wadi El Hagi, I don't know, a naturalized American citizen who had been living in Arlington, Texas, which isn't far from me, was arrested by the FBI for making false statements during questioning. After being indicted for his role in the bombings, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison in 2001. On November 4th, 1998, Osama bin Laden and several members of his network, including his military commander Mohammed Atef, were named in the indictment based on the investigation, and both have since been killed. All told, more than 20 people have been charged in connection with the bombings, and seven are serving life sentences in U.S. prison. The Kinbomb and Tanbomb, I guess, yeah, Kinbomb and Tanbomb investigations, as the FBI calls them, that's kind of weird names, represented at that time the largest deployment in Bureau history. They led to ramped up anti terrorist efforts by the United States and by the FBI, including an expanded Bureau overseas presence that can quickly respond to acts of terrorism that involve Americans. So, obviously, they did track Osama bin Laden to this whole plot here. This was 3 years pretty much before. Um, the Oh my gosh, yeah. About 3 years before 9/11. So he's been around for a long time and had his hands in other plots. So anyway, just going down this kind of like 9/11 rabbit hole. That's what I call this whole, I guess, playlist of videos because there's so much information you can learn from this and how they make all these connections. But anyway, I will put this in the description and I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Bye.